Spoilers, 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 spoilers. Can I say it one more time? Spoilers. Yes, this is going to be a whole spoiler-filled episode, so stop the video right now if you don't want them. Now, those of you got through that spoiler alert, you want to see monsters versus robots, kaijus versus Jaegers, kaijus, Jaegers, monsters, robots. You want to see all that, just galactic battles of monsters and robots fighting each other. You're gonna get that in probably 1/3 of the movie. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? It's a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, we grade them, give them a grade of A through F, pluses and minuses do count. And before I jump into this movie review, I just want to say I'm still on a Star Wars hiatus, but I'm going to get back to those movie reviews. I'm going to get back to the movie review for Star Wars. So if you're expecting episode 3 today, I'm sorry. You might not get it for another 2 weeks because Ready Player One comes out next week. And I kind of want to see this movie. Kind of want to. But that means that I'm digressing. I'm digressing. Now, let's get into the movie review for today, which is Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, or Pacific Rim Uprising. They didn't put the 2 in there. I guess they felt like they didn't need to, which they should, because the first one wasn't that great of a movie. I will have to do a review on it. And I could be wrong, but I watched it one time and I kept fading in and out of it. And then I came back and it's like, what's the point to that first one? Well, here's the second one because it was suggested to me to watch. And I went ahead and watched it. And I enjoyed this one way more than the first one. Way more than the first one. Like, and probably because John Boyega, just the character he is and the person that he is, probably what made me watch this movie, and the fact that I got behind him because everybody else was just kind of there besides one other character. On top of that, it just had a better storyline, had a better flow to it, unlike the first one. Now, this one does have some flow issues. Like, it's a point where it picks up and you're like, okay, cool, action, what's happening? And then it drops all the way back down. And you're like, when's the next action scene? Oh, okay, it's picking back up. When's the next action scene? Yep, okay, we're action scene. All right, that was unnecessary. This movie had a lot of like superhero tropes, a lot of stuff like the rebellious son who was in the military, but he left the military because he couldn't like stand up to his father's name, or couldn't be the soldier his father wanted him to be, so he left. And you had the characters who come back and like, oh, they're the fighter. You had the spirited fighting girl who's like, I'm gonna be what I want to be, and I'm gonna make what I want to make, and I'm gonna be the rebellious one. You also have like the bad guy who wasn't supposed to be the bad guy, but it is a surprise bad guy situation where like, oh, I thought the stoic corporate person was the bad guy. In fact, it wasn't him. Or I should say it wasn't her in this movie. It was him, Charlie Day. He's the bad guy. What? Kind of wish I would have saw that coming. The main storyline of this movie is 10 years after the first movie. So Pacific Rim 1 happened. They beat the kaijus. 10 years later, a decade later, pretty much the military is still around. They're trying to make sure they're preparing for a future kaiju attack. They never know when the kaijus could come back or what was their reasoning in the first place. So they're just making sure everybody's staying trained, bringing in new soldiers. Also, we have the old guard with the old tradition. The newer tradition is that the military, I guess, scientists are creating drones to pretty much fight for the humans. So humans don't have to be in the military anymore. The military won't need the dual robots. You have these drones to do the job for you. And with that comes more issues. Issues such as giant robots fighting each other to prove a point that our robots are better than your robots. And just other superhero action movie tropes that you see. Like, oh, we got humans fighting humans in this movie. Heck, majority of this movie was humans fighting humans until you get to the very, like, 1/3 of the movie, and then you realize, oh, Charlie Day's character is actually the bad guy. He's been controlled by the kaijus, and now that the kaijus are pretty much trying to take over the earth so they can eradicate life as is, like every superhero, I literally, it's every superhero movie. If you've seen another superhero movie, you're probably gonna get the gist of the superhero movie and you understand like, oh, this is that action superhero kind of movie, like, I'm okay. Like, I don't know what else to say about this movie but that. Okay, so before I get into some of the characters here, I do want to just point out a little more like thoughts that came to my mind. One, there's Gundams in this movie. If you're a big fan of G Gundam or Gundam Mobile Suit, like there's a giant Gundam statue in this movie. I wish there was an actual Gundam robot, but they didn't do that. But Gundams are in this universe. When they're in Japan, you get to see the giant statue of a Gundam. You're like, oh, that's interesting. Another thing that I wrote down my notes here is that there is a mid-credit scene. Like after the movie ends, there's a credits, like a second post-credit scene, but not at the very end, but like mid-credit, where they're pretty much setting up for a third Pacific Rim. So you're gonna get 3 of these movies. Yeah. Okay, now let's get into the characters. So let's start off with John Boyega. He plays a character by the name of Jake Pentecost. Jake is the son of Idris Elba's character in the first movie. And Jake was actually in the first movie per se. He was around, I should say. He wasn't in the movie like the movie, but he was around. And he got kicked out before the events of Pacific Rim happened in the first one. So in the second one, he's a rebellious character who's out partying, having fun. He's a thief. He gets caught and end up working for the military again. But when he comes back, everybody's kind of like giving him shade and whatnot. Like Scott Eastwood, who plays Nate Lambert, discount Captain America. I swear to God, Scott looked like Chris Evans in Captain America. Like, I guess he was trying to mimic that character because he mimicked him really well. Like Chris Evans, Captain America, was Scott Eastwood, Nate Lambert. Which Nate and Jake had some beef, but didn't really explain why. They tried to talk about it, but you didn't really feel like there was beef there. Like, it was just pointless. Like, for what reason? It was unnecessary to the storyline. Like, their whole little, oh, I'm not going to speak to you. I'm going to speak to you. We got to work together kind of thing. Like, pointless. It was pointless. But Jake goes back. He gets put into the military. He helps. He's the hero and whatnot. One of my favorite characters in this movie is Amora Namani. She played by Cailee Spaeny. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. But she's probably one of my favorite characters. She was the rebellious kid as well. She was an orphan who pretty much built her own Jaeger to pretty much survive because she knew the one day that the kaijus might come back. So she created her own little mini Jaeger, and her and Jake end up running into each other. And because of this, they end up facing another Jaeger and running away in the movie. That's how they become a team. But she was like the super nerdy person that geeked out when she got to see all the giant Jaegers. And she geeked out when she found who Jake's last name was and that he was the son of like Idris' character. Like, she was like freaking out, geeking out. But then she ended up being a very strong character in the movie and actually helped out a lot and made a difference. Like, she wasn't like the girl in Transformers 5 who was shown to be like this really cool character and is only in the movie for like 10 minutes. No, she was in the whole movie, and they made sure to bring her in. And every time she was on screen, the movie felt a little better. It picked up compared to everything else. Charlie Day as Dr. Newton. It's Charlie Day. Charlie Day is the same character in all his movies, I feel like. Like, it's just Charlie Day. If you've seen Charlie Day in any other movie, you're going to see him in this movie. You're going to think, it's Charlie Day. I don't know. To me, he didn't add anything to the movie. He didn't take away anything from the movie. He was just the bad guy. He was the main bad guy in this movie, the main antagonist. You thought it was going to be Tian Jing, she plays Li Wen Xiao. You thought it was her, who was like the corporate person who brought in the new robots to pretty much get rid of the old system. She brought in a new system and kind of find out that Charlie Day character was taken down or using her system to make monsters out of them. And she ended up becoming the good guy, I guess helping out the good guys. And it really like just tossed in spot. Like, okay. And this is the other thing about this movie, like, at one point you thought that all the heroes going to die, but you also like know, like, okay, they're not going to die off in this movie. Who's going to come rescue them? Who's going to come save them? And yep, here comes Tian. She came in to save them all. Like, all right, no, probably saw that coming. Like, just, it's every superhero trope in this movie, I swear. Rinko Kikuchi, she's back. She plays Mako Mori from the first movie. She's back in this one, and she dies off in the movie. Her death was really like anticlimactic. It was just like explosion. She was in a helicopter. She looked out, died. Like, I don't know. I wish her death meant something more. Like, especially the fact that if you've seen the first one, you recognize her, you're more attached to her than any other character in this movie. But yet, like, when she died, they didn't make you feel anything. It was like, oh, well, she's gone. And that's another thing. Like, there's characters in this movie who get killed off, and you're like, why? I wish you had more time to get, like, connected to these characters. They were just thrown into the picture, and then after that, they're just gone. Like, all right, you was there for a brief second, didn't really get to know who you were, didn't know anything about your background story. I heard a talk or two about you, but that's about it. Like, come on now, come on. Anybody else that I missed, I really want to point out, Gorman, he played Dr. Herman. He was in the first one as well. Still a strange character that he was, the mad scientist kind of person. And yeah, he did a good job. He played the role he should have played, and he did it well. And that's about it. There's like some comedy in this movie, not much. I do want to say that John Boyega has more mannerism than Kevin Hart every time I see him. He did it in Star Wars Episode 7, and then he did it again in this movie when he was bringing up like a scene about how he go explain something to somebody else, and he made this like the whole Kevin Hart like face. I wish for those of you listening, he's making that like the lip stuck out, kind of like, oh, like you got me kind of face. He made that face, and I was just like, this dude, his acting skills, he must have like mimicked Kevin Hart or like loved Kevin Hart, because he throws little Kevin Hart bits and pieces in his movie. I'm noticing that. I can't be the only one. I probably am. I don't know. Okay, so this movie, she's seen in theaters. No, do not go see this movie in theaters. I think you're okay waiting until this movie come out on DVD or on Hulu or Netflix. I don't think this movie is worth the time in theaters. When I was in theaters watching it, there was some people who got up and walked out the movie theater, who got to walk back in the movie theater. So people was kind of moving around. It wasn't like everybody was in the seat glued to it. So I would take that with what you want, with a grain of salt, I guess, or not. I don't know. Like, use that to your ability if you want to go see this movie or not. If you really like robots fighting giant monsters, go watch the movie. If you don't, you can wait until it comes out on DVD or on Netflix or Hulu. All right, grading time. I'm going to grade Pacific Rim 2 Uprising a solid C. Or I guess that way for yours. Yeah, C. It was a fun solid movie. It wasn't a solid movie. It was a fun movie to watch. Like, it wasn't the best movie out there. It's not going to be a rememberable movie, but it was also a fun movie to watch. You did have a few issues here and there, and I kind of went over them already, but it's better than the first one by far. It's a solid movie. Go and watch it. Go, like, if you want to go watch it, enjoy it. If you don't, you're perfectly fine. All right, that's my review for Pacific Rim 2 Uprising. What did you guys think if you saw this movie? Please let me know. Please put in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe, follow, share. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe for more episodes of Grind Towards Success, movie breakdowns, or whatever it is you're watching on my channel. I have different stuff from interviews to other movie reviews to wrestling reviews. If you're a wrestling fan, please subscribe if you want to see all that and see what's going on. Also, you can follow me on Snapchat here. Follow me on Instagram there to see what I'm doing in my personal life as well as my business and Ninja Warrior. And lastly, you can watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success here, and you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns there. Thank you guys once again. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Keep being awesome.